last time we were playing, um, you guys had just finished off the wreck of the Emperor of Waves. You finished clearing out all the floors, killed the last of the stuff that was in there, raided as much as you could, and found the box of documents that you were after. Your giant, enormous, huge, gigantic octopus friend outside kept tapping anxiously on the ship and waiting for you to feed it the promised meals. And as you eventually left the ship, I believe you guys either looked back and saw it, or at least heard the octopus tearing the rest of that ship apart. But you guys have now, you guys came back to your ship, the Stormy Jack, secured your cargo, and we're just debating what to do next. You guys decided to get some sleep. Dread went off to her cabin, and Lobu, unbeknownst to you guys, had held on to this really weird doll he had found, and it started talking to him. Some of the members of your team figured that out, uh, called him on it, and a bit of an argument occurred, at which point Topaz and Libu eventually came to blows over it and had to be separated. Um, you guys went to bed, and it is getting towards morning, but before that, I have a bit of a dream for Dovin. So, where's your cabin again, Dovin?
What did you say?
Uh, where's your cabin again? I can't remember which cabin is yours. All right. So you're at this point. It's getting towards morning, and you are in your bunk, and I will bring you down to whispers. So, in your dream, it starts off seeing that island that you've been looking for again, the one that you keep getting sent visions of. And you see the man with the long blonde hair and the scar that crisscrosses the right side of his face and over his eye, with the weird shadows beyond him. But then the vision pulls out of that, pulls up, and you can see an overview pretty much of the island you're looking for, with the caldera in the middle where this ancient temple is sitting. And it pulls out and away past weird shifting islands, past that island that you saw with you believe is probably an island that you saw covered in mist. The one that you guys got chased away from.
Mm-hmm.
And it moves over to what you're pretty sure is this island. It You see an overview of your own ship, and it shifts down to the forest. On the outside of the forest, which you can see from the ship line and the shoreline, it still looks kind of green and vibrant, but with an overhead view, you see that the majority of the forest is dead. It's this blackened husk and crisscrossed with spider webs, kind of like I want to say, what is it, Mirkwood in Lord of the Rings, or rather
Ah,
the
okay.
Hobbit, rather. Well, actually, I think
Yeah,
it
good
was in both,
imagery.
but yeah. And it's like, it's kind of like that, but it's like you can just almost feel the not simply necromancy, but evil druids at work here. You can just sense that to your core, because you, being a good and loving druid, can very much sense the corrupt nature of these druids here, and you kind of feel yourself being drawn down into the middle of this dead wood, and you see that the woods conceal a tower. It's not high enough to reach the top of the of where the dead woods are, but it's there, and there's vines growing over it. Mostly are dead now. Bits of moss, weird mushrooms that are growing on the floor of this forest, and you can see various people in robes walking to and from, and these posts set up that with symbols on top. They look like skulls that are painted green, and some of them are draped in spider web. Other are have, like, fungus growing on top of them, and you're looking at this, and as you're looking at this scene, you see a drow man, um, with trying to think right now. He's actually got kind of dark hair, and his skin is quite dark, but not as dark as you would usually think of a drow, and it is more of a charcoal color than some of the others, like not like the purple or blues that sometimes show up on drow, but it's like he seems to be walking into the middle of that, but he's not wearing in the middle of the tower, like there's door, that no door, it's just like an archway entrance sort of thing, but
Mm-hmm.
he's walking in, and there's like two really pale humanoid figures kind of flanking him, and they're just like kind of semi-feral looking, just kind of glancing around, but he's definitely not. You get the sense that he's not one of these druids. He's just somehow there for some reason, and it seems like he's actually been there for a bit, like he's coming back from someplace and is going in, and that's all you get before you start waking up.
And that's just one example of things that come out of China.
All right. So it's morning. Uh, Dovin has woken up. Uh, Lobu, you wake up to see that both Noxie and Cogsworth/Fumble are staring, are like there in the room with you. Noxie is curled up in the hammock. Topaz, have you come back to the ship yet, or are you still in the water?
I would have to. Or were we anchored? Or were
Yeah,
we
you're
sailing?
anchored. You're anchored. You're still near the island. Um, the octopus. You're just beyond the reef where the giant octopus lives. Um, is there anything you wish to do while you're in the water, or you just wish to
I
come
want
back?
to take a short rest.
Okay. Well, everybody actually is getting a long rest. It's like you guys
Okay.
have been sleeping like that.
Um, no, I take my position at the helm and wait until we see what we're doing.
All right. Dread. You being unaware of what transpired last night, you wake up completely refreshed, feeling the call to something on this island that needs to be taken care of. What would you like to do?
I'll go upstairs to see if everybody's ready to go hunt ghosts.
All right. If Topaz has taken her place back at the wheel, then you can probably see her up there.
All right. Make my way up to Topaz first. So, you ready to go hunt ghosts, Topaz?
As ready as I'm going to be.
Guess we need to talk. Where's the captain?
I have no idea. I haven't seen her since I got back on ship.
Back on ship from what?
The water.
Well, I know you went in the water, but why would you go in the water?
Because I'm a sea elf.
Okay.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
But now I'm back on deck. So, have there been any other murders since I was gone? Any
Not,
possessions? Any demonic incursions?
not that
Strange
I'm
voices in people's heads? Dolls dancing? Any other shit?
nothing that I'm aware of. Has anything like that happened since I was asleep?
Oh, what, you haven't been made aware of what transpired?
No. Did something happen?
Oh, I would have figured somebody would have told you by now. Yes. Fucking Lobu, he's got this demon doll. It looks like a demonic jester that moves and talks in your head and does all that on its own. And it's something to do with his patron.
His
He was
patron.
talking to it, yes, and acting strange. And when confronted about it, he tried to lie about it. We called him out on it because we knew he had it. And then it started talking in Volan's head. And she got all weird. And I don't know what it did or what it said to her, but I had enough of that shit. And Lobu was over there trying to deny everything, so I went to kick his ass. We almost had a murder on the Stormy Jack last night. So I'm back now and I'm cooled off a little bit, but I still don't trust him. And if you can tell whatever it is you do with your divine sense thing, you should go look at him and that doll. And Volan too while you're at it.
All right.
About this time, Fumble's gonna come walking out of the cabin and notice that Dread and Topaz are awake. And she's just gonna be like, would anybody like to explain why I was in Lobu's room last night?
I'm going to go through everything I just went through again for you.
Oh. Oh my. That's not good. I don't.
So you were basically standing there awkwardly watching him all night. Apparently.
It wasn't me.
Look, I don't know what your deal is with your hive brain or whatever it is you have there. All I know is the physical you was in his room all night.
Oh, there's no need to get snippy, miss.
Have you met me?
Once or twice, I believe. But it gets a little fuzzy, so I'm not too sure.
Yeah, we got a lot of fuzzy around.
Is Cloud on the ship? Is she here?
I was
Where's
about to
she
say
at?
that's her nickname in another campaign. The one that she hates and had to be changed.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna leave you to whatever it is you do.
Okay then.
I'm just gonna. Dredge, you seem safe. I'm just gonna stand next to you. You seem like a
Okay.
safe bet.
How deluded you are.
But you can stand closer to Lobu's room.
Yeah. All right. So I'll walk over to Lobo's room and I knock on the door.
I'm gonna be like walking behind her with like my head peeking over her shoulder. Like, what are you doing?
I'll open up the door. Oh, Dread, welcome.
Hi.
Come in. I think Noxie might still be sleeping, so be a little quiet.
But at this point, Noxie actually wakes up and slips by you, holds up a sign saying, "My stomach's still hurting," and runs off to her room.
Oh, and the one thing I left out of my story that I would have included was that the doll is now in the bag of holding, as far as I know.
Oh,
I
that's a
think
good
I
point for
think
it.
Dovin has it. I'm not sure.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Let's see. So Lobo, I heard about last night. How are you doing?
I think I'm all right. I've got some research to do, I think, but I'm glad I learned what I learned from that thing, and after a little reflection, I'm glad it's gone, for now at least.
All right. So as I'm talking to him, I'll actually use divine sense to see if there's anything off with him.
Can you bring up Divine Sense for me again, please?
Bring up my sheet here.
So I'm always bad at remembering what Divine Sense does exactly. And I keep confusing it with there's another one that, I keep confusing it with Primeval Awareness for some reason. Alright, so Strong Evil, Celestial Fiend or Dead, Alright, and it is within... within 60 feet, yeah. Okay, so within 60 feet of you, is any of that register? Checking the people here. Nope. Lobu seems fine. And all the rest of your people seem on the up and up. They're... So there's no celestial fiends or anything that registers as undead. It's almost as though there was, a tiny little, I think I mentioned this to you before about, the tiniest of blip that somebody once gave off.
Yeah.
There's there's an even tinier blip. If that blip was tiny and in a momentary. This one was like you would have had to have been looking in that direction to even catch the thing being confused, but your sense being confused about something for a moment or less than a moment, and that would be coming from behind you. But it went away immediately. It's like okay, it's like it's almost as if it's confused about is this an undead? Should register as an undead? No, not an undead.
Okay, so Volan's fine too as far as divine sense goes.
Yeah, something behind you. Something behind you wanted to classify something as an undead, but didn't quite make it.
Uh, no strong sense of evil here either.
Correct. No,
Right.
nothing on the confines of the ship is either overly evil or overly good.
Okay. So, you ready to go hunt some ghosts, Lobu?
Oh man, it is going to be such a relief to hunt some freaking ghosts. We're going to mess them up. You want me to fish? I forget. Do you like the fish?
Out of character, I don't remember whether I do or not, so I would probably.
That's up to you. And you remember, tastes can change within a day, so it's like maybe you liked fish one day and hated it the other. Maybe you hated it, but you're giving it another try. It's up to you.
I don't actually remember, Lobu. Let me try some just to see if I like it.
Sounds good. I'll do some fishing, and then he kind of peeks behind you and sees Topaz at the wheel, and then casts false life on himself before moving.
Okay.
Splash over the side with Lubu.
Okay, so while he's off fishing, I'll approach Volan and say, Captain, are we ready to go hunting ghosts?
I think so. I'd like to have a conversation with two of our crew members, but I'll let Lobu finish what he's doing.
All right.
So, come here often?
Who, me?
Anybody. Filling the silence.
Uh, I would say probably quite often since I walk on this ship quite a bit.
Morning, Dovan.
God. Oh, did you say good morning?
Yeah, she
Oh,
literally
okay,
just said,
sorry.
morning.
Yeah, so Doan is actually, he's in the middle of like meditation. He's sitting like cross-legged on the middle of the ship and he's just staring at Callie. And Callie is just still staring back at him. And there's like, you can maybe see like little sparkles in the air, but like they're so faint and quick, like you're not even sure you saw them.
Is he broken?
Actually, looking at Delvin, does that seem to be familiar as far as clerical things go to me?
I mean, if you got, he does this every morning. This is like his meditation.
He does it.
This is me selecting spells, basically.
He does this every morning. I guess technically I would too, essentially. But
Now that that's done, I know we need to talk.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, about that too. Let's do that.
What were you referring to? Dovan.
I know we're all super excited about dreams and voices and should wait until everybody's here. Is Lobu back on deck yet?
Yeah, I think around this time, if it works out, I'll be climbing back over with a net full of fish. Not as many as I usually get, like a smaller amount, but enough for breakfast.
Nice. Um, hey Topaz,
Yes,
are you coming with us to the island?
apparently so.
I'm glad you're coming with us. So, Callie, I think it was Callie, showed me some visions last night. I know we're not super hot on that topic at the moment, but I'm pretty sure it was Callie. Uh, I don't know if there's ghosts on the island, but there are probably a lot of spiders, and I'm pretty sure there's evil druids at work. I The vision was different than usual. Usually I just see like smiling faces, bright colors, and then some snippets of real life stuff. Like I saw the ship, which was super cool, and it's awesome that we're on here, and it feels so good to be here. But I've had a couple of darker dreams lately, and this one was definitely dark. There's this drow who's not a druid, I don't think, but he's on the island. And so we may be dealing with some druids here. It's a very, very, very sick forest. So we really should be very careful.
Good druids or bad druids?
Very, very, very bad druids.
Kill
Like-
on sight. Got it.
We've dealt with it before, right? They weren't terrible.
Yeah, but we can't really see it from here.
Those like the ones we. Oh, that's the same cult. Then no, they're dead.
Yeah, but I don't know. The-
Spiders.
Hmm?
I mean, you said spiders and evil druids, and we've managed to kill both. So I mean,
Yeah,
Yes, but a drow in the mix.
he seemed out of place. He was there, but he seemed like he wasn't. His role is something else. I don't know what.
Can't be good. Guaranteed.
Yeah. But anyways, there's also there's a tower. I forgot. There's a tower, but the tower is not big enough to go over the trees, but there's definitely a tower, and we should find that tower.
I've
Is
only
that the
ever heard
tower?
one story of a good druid or a good drow, and I think they made that up.
Is the tower the place with the teleportation circle? Wait, did you tell us about that? Hold on, sorry.
Yes. I think I was I the one that was talking about all of that?
No, I think Lobu mentioned it, which means this would probably be news to you.
I feel like we rolled on it, and I don't remember what the roll was.
Oh,
I
right.
think that one.
No, that's
from the
right.
doll.
Lobu mentioned it from the doll. You gained the knowledge of towers and transportation things from your history check, and now you're basically getting confirmation that that there might be one on this island, because you just saw it in the dream that you're now describing to them.
It was a good connection, Volan. I was a bit distracted from what happened last night. Yeah, uh, that's probably true. Oh wait, isn't it nighttime now? Didn't we like go to sleep in the middle of the day?
Yeah, technically it is nighttime, not daytime. You're right.
Um, let me check my notes, see if I'm forgetting anything I should. Oh, there's more of those green skulls. I think we found one on the on the half orc or orc that was on the other ship?
Sweetheart. A lot, or were they just? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, there were a lot.
Okay.
A lot of little green skulls. That seemed to be a pretty popular art piece. But that's what I got. I'm gonna go ahead. No, that's okay. Are we all okay? I sort of look between Lobu, Volan, and Topaz.
Are we fighting?
Are you
Well,
just gonna? Is that what we're doing? Is that what we're doing, Topaz?
I don't see any blood being spilled at the moment.
not all fighting is physical.
Not all possession is obvious.
What does that mean?
It's meant to be cryptic.
Yeah, well,
If I disconnect, I'm sorry. Cogsworth is using the microwave.
No worries.
I think she thinks we're possessed by that doll, Volan. Both of us, not just me.
Both of you seem fine to me.
I feel fine. That's quite a jump, Topaz. Do you really believe that?
Do I really believe what?
I'm not about to do this with you. It, uh, I'm not doing this.
I'm pretty good at reading people. I figure you are too. You seem to be pretty have your wits about you. Don't you think we would notice if something was off about them?
Yeah. Darn. Stuffle with an E. You.
Breaking up.
Some of the crew at this point has been, stopping what they're doing and just kind of observing the group of you. Yeah, the words like possession seem to have a couple of the crew members on edge. And they kind of look towards Volan, and one asks, are we okay here, Captain?
We're
So what is
perfectly
saying
fine.
through about this possession thing?
I don't know what she's referring to, so I'd recommend getting back to work, doing what I pay you to do.
Yes, Captain! And he salutes quickly and goes back to the rigging.
Maybe not around the crew.
Maybe we should. Who'd like to come hang out in my room and have some snacks?
Snacks?
I've got 7 fish, 7 fresh fish.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure that sounds great. I'm gonna just start slowly walking away. But I have somewhere I need to be.
Why don't we just eat out here, Lobu?
We should maybe stop by the captain's quarters. It's a little bigger. We can have a discussion with the group.
Oh.
That sounds good to me.
So we all go into the cabin quarters. Okay.
Hi.
Hello, Cogsworth.
I'm gonna go ahead and start ritual casting water breathing. We probably won't need it, but better safe than sorry.
All right, now that we're kind of separated from the easily startled crew, I did have a question. Did Topaz come down in here with us, or is she staying at the wheel?
If I was invited,
I think you'd be
You
invited.
were invited. Yeah.
last I heard, Volan was not going to do this with me, so I don't.
Are you?
That, yes, there's basically, she said all of you guys should come to the room. It's up to you if you wish to come or not.
Yeah.
Well, while Topaz, I didn't love the way you expressed it last night, I have become a little concerned that, I don't know, the more arcane leaning people, and he looks over at Dread and Dovin and Cogsworth, do you think it's possible that Topaz is right? And is there a chance I could turn on everybody in my sleep?
You, as far as I can tell, you are not evil per se, but and you don't seem to be undead, obviously. But I don't know the name of your patron either, though.
I
How
told
much?
everybody else.
How much do I know about possession by sea monsters and patrons and stuff like that?
Roll an Arcana check.
Dolls.
Well, I don't have the most experience when it comes to possession. However, I know nothing of patrons, especially those that are more aquatic. I can't say. However, I am concerned for your health, especially with the story Topaz mentioned.
What story was that?
Sailors with those same growths.
What growth?
Lobul will lift up his shirt and show you the weird lump.
And that's from your patron.
I assume so.
Do I know anything? Do I know anything about this patron? What would I need to roll to?
Did you guys mention the patron's name out loud?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and fill in Dread about the what I know about it. So
Alright.
it's the name is the Sea Mother. My only encounter with it was there was a group of sailors that came into a hospital that I was in, and they were kind of talking crazy. They were like, they had these weird growths on them that were like turning into tentacles, and they basically wasted away pretty dreadfully.
Dread, roll a religion check for me. Yeah, you're uncertain as to what this sea mother is, or if it's real or just a delusion that these people are having.
Okay.
And I'm no expert on possession aside from ghosts. I certainly don't know anything about the Sea Mother, or the gods have powers that we don't fully understand. But usually, patrons aren't really into possessing or things like that. They mostly just seduce through talking. Not even necessarily seducing. They mostly just talk to you. And
What about evil artifacts?
well, that is certainly a question. I mean,
Certainly
Lobu,
is.
Roland and Lobu seem fine. I I mean, usually possession comes with some sort of loss of memory, or there's some sort of like charm effect. They do seem to find the doll to be very friendly, which is cause for concern, but otherwise they seem normal.
Oh, I don't consider that thing friendly at all. That's awful.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
There we
Lobu.
go. There we go. What? Does that mean
Well-
it's bad?
Well, that means it's not possessed or charmed.
I'm still concerned that Lobu mentioned it seems to know something about me.
It
Mhm.
seems to know
You?
something
Yeah.
about
Yes.
everyone.
Or we.
Me.
Fuck.
We don't even know if you're a Warforged, remember?
I was told I could be anything I wanted to when I grew up.
What'd you want to be?
So you became an add-on.
Apparently. I'm just spare parts.
You know, I still haven't been able to find you in the patch.
Maybe I'm a pirate.
That would explain a lot.
Wow. You'd miss me if I wasn't here.
True. I'd consider you Powler.
Anyways,
Jackass.
I think Volan's dislike of the doll is a good sign that she's not charmed, possessed, or enthralled. But to answer your comment, Cogsworth, we need to be very careful with this doll. We don't know what it's capable of.
Agreed.
We could burn it.
Unlikely. This is from what I think we know about it. This is an artifact from a very long time ago, potentially a powerful artifact.
We can put it back from whence it came.
We could shove its head full of garlic and hang it upside down in a river.
I like that idea.
Is that a thing?
Witches and vampires.
Good to know.
I have no out of character. I have no clue if those are like truly recorded methods of dealing with them, but I've heard it used for both.
We could dismember it and scatter it.
What if that just makes it mad?
I vote for that plan.
But what's it gonna do if it doesn't have any limbs?
It's magic.
You should
Shit.
get carted around Yoda style.
For all we know, it's
Well,
a
I'm
vote.
not gonna put it in Noxie's barrel, okay?
I find fire to be a good solution for most things.
Quick check though. The doll, its features don't look anything like any of us, right?
Those of you who saw it would think that it looked it's very faded, so it would appear to be human or very humanoid. It's hard to make out other features because of how faded it is. Although I do believe didn't Lebu clean it up some and it started glowing?
Yeah,
Or something like that to the effect?
You said that its colors restored pretty
Yes,
dramatically.
you restored the
and then
colors, and the colors just started, changing every few seconds, except for the hat, which stayed pink and blue. And yeah, it did look human, pale human, with it looked like some kind of blonde or yellowish hair, which doesn't match any of you, unless Dovin has a secret he's not saying from his past.
What?
Well,
What?
another concern I have is that it might have attached itself to Lobu, because I've heard, I vaguely recall tales of artifacts that were used to harm others over long distance.
Lobu, has this doll harmed you?
No. Though
Where
it's
on the
creeped
doll
me
did it
out
hurt you?
plenty. Show us on the doll where the doll hurt you.
Yes. Show us
Codsworth,
on the dial where
Yes.
the bad patron touched you.
when are you not concerned?
Any of us what?
Rarely.
Well,
I'm concerned
I-
most of the time.
I
Sorry,
feel
Luke.
like this has come to a real inconclusive vote on my ability to not be possessed. So I would like Dovin to hold on to something for me, if that's all right.
Of course.
And then he pulls off that bracelet he found in the temple and hands it over. Like, this thing is it could be nasty in the wrong hands. It could be a great asset to us otherwise, but you definitely don't want a possessed person holding on to this.
Have I seen this before?
We all saw it it was like hanging out of a bird's mouth.
Oh, it's a thing?
Yeah, it's
It's a magic item?
the bracelet. Yeah.
Okay.
I was not present.
This was right before we met you.
It's now in your handouts, Dovin.
What an interesting trinket. May I ask what it is?
Oh. It's a bracelet that can cast flesh to stone,
Well,
but
good
only
thing I'm
3
safe.
times.
Am I safe? Do you have flesh?
I don't know.
Did you just mentally look at your spirit, see if you had flesh?
Yes.
Carry on, Robin.
Oh, interesting.
Agreed.
Well, I trust you, Lobu, but I'll hold on to this if it would make everyone else feel safer.
I'd safer if that doll was disposed of, but that's me.
On that note, and I hope this doesn't make it look like I'm more possessed, but I don't want to take part in taking that thing apart. Bull inflicted on the back of its head, and it went crazy. It seems like it takes retribution.
Something I would like to point out as well. After he found the doll, he was one of the first to jump down into the lower decks of the sinking ship to help. So at least for now, it's not influenced. Unless it's making him kinder.
Which is exactly what a possessed person would do to
Give it to Topaz.
stave off suspicion.
Yes.
Give it to me. I hold my hand out.
We should we have more pressing issues to deal with. We have a bunch of druids in that forest that we need to take care of. We have a bunch of evil out to dread that we need to take care of. The doll is in the bag of holding. It's literally in another plane of existence. We should be okay for now. And I have an idea or two about what we can maybe do with it. But if ultimately the vote is to destroy it, then we can do that too. But maybe after we take care of this island.
I'm for that. I think it might bring us back together a little bit if we killed some in-your-face evil.
All right, where's the nearest Sohagan? Get to work.
The nearest what?
Different direction.
The things that you sparkled to death?
Yeah, but these are druids.
What?
Druids. Angry druids. You weren't tuned enough.
Where are we? Are we not on the ocean anymore?
We're still at the island.
You're tethered on it next to the island's barrier reef. You can only access the island via your dinghy. Um, so you're technically on the entire ship is on the water at the moment, but the island is you can see it easily just looking over the side.
Yeah. Cogsworth just tuned into the conversation about the doll, so he wasn't even thinking about the island. He completely forgot about the mission with the undead.
You'll have to excuse him. He's stupid.
I slept for 400 years.
It was 500, but yeah.
At least. But I know that.
You saw the date at some point and realized it's been 500 years.
Okay, I slept for 500 years.
What did I do?
I have no clue.
Alright,
Now-
everyone get the fuck out of my room. Let's go.
Okay.
As we're leaving, though, I'm gonna pull back Lobu and Topaz, and I'm gonna whisper quiet enough so the rest of the group can't hear. If you attack each other on my ship again, I'll behead both of you with my great axe in front of everyone. So don't. And then I'll shove them both out of my room.
Love you, bye.
Both of them?
Both of them.
Wow.
I don't know why this made me think of it, but just a heads up. Speaking of beheading people, I don't know why it made me think of it. My brother's.
Well, he's a bit of a dummy.
I might point out that while you were deemed to be the best suited for captain of the ship and given the hat, it is not your ship. It is owned by all of us jointly, and we all
Oh,
gain
is
the
it?
money to pay for it.
We didn't pay for it.
We have all paid for improvements on it, and we all work to get it.
Topaz, keep arguing with me.
I'm pointing out the obvious, and if you don't think it is, bring it up with the rest of the crew and the party. Ask the rest
Do
of
the
the
rest
party.
of us hear this?
No.
Yeah, well, Reverend
understood it.
Volan shoved them both out the door, so as far as I'm concerned, everybody in the party can hear them yelling at each other through the door.
We're outside now, yeah?
So, party, what would you like to do? It is now nighttime since you actually slept during the day today. After that strenuous fight, you were able to take another long rest really close to normal, and you know.
I'll turn around the rest of the party. Let's decide right now. Let's put it up to a vote. Is this ship ours jointly, or does it belong solely to Volan? Because she seems to think it does.
Better question. Who's in command of the ship? Bolin? Captain Bolin? Or Topaz?
No one
Navigator
disputes that.
Topaz?
No one disputes that you're in command of the ship, but the ship is not yours.
So you're arguing semantics now. That's what we're doing, because you're wrong.
No, I'm not arguing semantics at all.
No,
You
I
seem
think
to
you
think the
are.
ship is yours, solely
think
yours.
it's
Cogsworth,
my
Fumble, are you guys
control.
okay?
Yeah, her mom's calling from upstairs because they
Ah.
can't be bothered to walk down here to talk to us.
Okay, cool. I was just making sure that. Carry on. Sorry, guys.
Yep, you're perfectly fine.
Hey, crew members, would you help me get the dinghy prepared for launch?
They all look a bit nervous right now, listening to the argument between Volan and Topaz, and they glance over at Lobu, who's asking them to do something for them, and they quickly jump over to Lobu and start, fixing up the boat. And
And I'll
Lobu
just-
can hear one of them mumbling, saying something about Captain Noxie at one point.
I'm like, hey guys, don't worry. This is just a little spat. We're gonna come through this stronger than ever. You're part of a very important crew, and we're all basically a family. And sometimes we fight, and that's okay.
Bolin's yelling at the top of her lungs at Topaz as this is happening.
You can yell all you want. You can't control the ship by yourself. You need all of us to work with you on it.
I can navigate the ship by myself. I don't need you.
You can't navigate and be captain and pull all the
I
sails.
have Captain Noxy, so try again.
Yeah, that's great. A goblin. Okay.
What about the goblin?
And you're threatening murder on here? On your own ship?
I'm threatening justice on my ship, yes.
Oh, so you are the sole arbiter of justice on the ship,
Yes,
is that
as
it?
captain, I am the I am
Everyone's hearing this.
the executioner. Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
get it out in the open now.
yeah,
She
let's get
apparently
it out in
thinks
the
she
open.
is the sole arbiter of justice on the ship
I am.
and can do everyone's job without us.
I said I can do your job without you.
Yeah,
I
because you did
remember
so
she-
well that you almost ran into the damn reef the other day.
You almost ran into a bunch of rocks because you heard some pretty music. So, do we really want to?
Okay, so
Everybody
being
roll
taken
perception
over with
checks.
something in my mind beyond my control, that's my own fault. Okay, got it.
I managed it.
About time I roll well on a perception check.
Oh, and Topaz and Volan, this would be at disadvantage because you're in the middle of an argument.
Yeah, that's valid.
So, everybody who rolled a 15 or better can see that the tentacles of the octopus have reached up out of the water and are currently waving back and forth, just beyond the reach of the boat, inside the reef. The crew members who are busy lowering the dinghy stare at this in shock.
How far away is this?
You guys are right up next to the reef. It's basically on the other side of it. Kind of think of it like a neighbor on a fence line. You know, there's a fence between the two of you. The neighbor's waving at you. They probably can't necessarily jump over the fence and kill you, even if they had an axe. But still, it's not the most pleasant thing to be looking at.
Do we need to talk to him again?
Seems like maybe.
Who talked to him before? Was it Lobo and Topaz?
Yeah. But we can all go now. We've got the water breathing, right?
Well, we can all breathe. That doesn't mean we can all swim.
Doesn't mean we know how to talk to him either.
Oh yeah.
Does the octopus seem like threatening, or does it seem like it's trying to get our attention? Does it seem like it's...
Roll an insight check.
And I'm still screaming at Volan. And I
Yeah.
guess you also notice that the octopus is coming behind you trying to eat us all right now.
I don't give a fuck. I'd be happy to die now.
Devin, you get this impression that the octopus is just trying to get your attention.
I think he just wants to say hi. But maybe he has more to say.
Lobo,
Yeah.
Topaz is a little busy. He'll tell you what the
Go talk to the octopus.
Topaz away.
Okay. All right.
Callie will go with
I'll
you,
go.
Lobu.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And Callie and Bobu dive off the ship and go towards the octopus.
Devin, do you understand either Primal or Aquan?
No.
Alright.
Why are you letting Lobu do that, Captain Volan? Can't you?
Alright. So, quickly as you dive below the water, you go out of range of the arguing couple. It sounds like it's about to come to blows between them. Who knows? It's not the most pleasant of prospects at the time being. But you quickly swim out, and the octopus, you can see its giant eyes, and it's, not exactly like, there's some similarities between an octopus and your patron, but this is not really, definitely with its coloring, because it's more of an orangey, brownish color. It's definitely not colored the same as your patron, so it's easy to, not an easy thing to confuse the two. But the octopus booms out in Aquan. Ah, hello there again.
Hello. How was your meal?
It was pretty nice. Some good flavors in there. The ship didn't have too much in the way of other edibles in there, and it's now just added to my layer over there.
Well, we did our best to get everything out before you had to crack it open like a walnut. I'm glad
What's
you
a
enjoyed your meal.
walnut?
Oh, it's great. They have them on land. They grow on trees.
Oh,
Trees are kind of like seaweed, but really tough
are they
and strong.
the big woody things that sometimes fall into the water?
Yeah, it's what ships are made out of.
Yes,
Made of
that's
trees.
what I thought. Well, they're too much on land for me to go see. I being up on even pulling my tentacles out of the water can be rather painful at times if the sunlight dries them out. But thankfully, it's nighttime, and that's not as easy to happen.
That is a great blessing. Well, is there anything I can help you with?
Oh, since you're still here, I was wondering if you've seen that big flying thing that occasionally dives into the waters and makes them unsafe for a while. It seems to do some nasty things to certain areas of my waters, and I really don't like it. And every time I try to grab it, it manages to fly away again. It seems to like
Huh.
hunting in the water, and it seems to
Can I
like
do
teasing
some
me.
sort
Sure, do a nature check. All right. So, something poisonous, something flying, something that's big enough for the octopus to want to grab, but small enough for it to easily get away from the octopus. There are a few things that come to mind. If you're not entirely sure, you might need to ask a few more questions.
All right. Does it? Uh, can you describe what kind of? Uh, is it a bird? Is it a reptile?
Birds have feathers, yes? They're not
Yeah.
that pleasant to eat. No, this thing had scales, but not like fish scales. Thick scales. And I would try to drag my tentacles around it, and they were a bit rough and would scuff off, and then it would exhale at me, and suddenly I would get sick.
Oh. And what color was it?
Oh, green. It was green in color.
Green.
With that nature score, your brain just suddenly processes this information. Green, flying, scaly. Oh God, dragon. Green dragon.
Yep. Oh, this island is terrible. Well, we definitely haven't seen that, but thank you for letting us know that it's around. Actually, on that note, I should get back as soon as possible and tell my friends that that's around.
All right. Well, if you manage to kill it, like you've done the things in the ship, I wouldn't mind getting a chance to eat it, unless it's fully poisonous.
Would you have anything good to trade with us? I know you've got quite a little stash
Well,
on.
I don't know. There might be some things underneath my in my pile somewhere. I can try to drag them up if you can bring me such a marvelous beast.
All right, I'll bring it to the rest of my people. I'm personally gonna feed you at least something, and then he throws a fish. I know it's not much, but
Tiny little snack, but it is appreciated. Thank you.
and then swims back.
Yeah, no, she's
Lobu
fine.
comes back out of the water. The tentacles pull away again, and it seems like the octopus is going away.
This island is a nightmare.
Hmm.
But we do have one friend. That octopus is cool.
Interesting.
What do you know about the island?
I just heard that amongst the myriad of other things we have to worry about, drow and weird zombies, super zombies, and anyway,
For zombies?
that octopus says that there's a green dragon on this island.
What the fuck is happening?
Oh,
What the fuck is happening?
Are we ready to face this?
He said
Wait.
dragon.
You said dragon?
Green, dragon.
Did you see? Do you know anything about dragon bones on this island?
Can
Hey,
can you repeat that, please?
well, I was more asking aloud, but
Oh,
now
sorry.
I'm asking.
I thought you were asking me.
I'm
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Does this island? Now I am asking you. This island, does it look like the one from my dream a little while ago with the dragon bones?
No, actually, it doesn't. You that was where your dream started earlier. The one with the caldera that has dragon bones on it that you saw. This is just the one that you saw a bit of a bit of greenery around the edge, with old dead trees and spider webs in the middle.
Right. Okay. Just checking.
Hear me out.
Green.
If I go ahead, you go first, Valen.
Do we think that there's some sort of magical effect or something on this island that's making us think that these terrible things are here and that there's maybe not such terrible things?
Oh, there's something evil here.
Okay, but you say there's evil undead. Dovin says evil druids. Lobu says a green dragon. It's getting a little wild, yeah?
That's actually a pretty clever thought.
Well, don't get me wrong, but I don't know much about green dragons, but don't they work with evil druids sometimes?
Roll an Arcana check, guys.
And while they're doing that, I'd like to see if I recall any tales of dragons in this area of the world from before I slumbered.
Roll a history check.
Let's see if I actually roll well on the history check this time. Wow!
Okay, I will give Cogsworth some information shortly.
Yay.
Dovin, from your point of view, you hear that and go, yeah, not only do they work with druids, it's not unheard of that an evil, well, typically, they tend towards evil, green dragon might found some sort of evil evil druid cult, or be a major part of an evil druid cult. Whether or not they deal with undead, that's unclear. It's like, maybe sometimes, like some evil druids do, you kind of like think back in your lore and go, yeah, sometimes they manipulate things. Sometimes things look more undead because they've got, fungal spores through them that are helping to animate them, but they still show up as undead on searches, that sort of stuff. But you realize that, that actually makes sense. And then you realize something. You kept seeing images of a green skull. Sorry, colored green, possibly more to the fact that these are evil druids instead of like wonderful nature loving druids, normal nature loving druids. The green skull might actually represent a dragon lineage here, meaning green for the dragon.
I say all of that out loud.
And I need to look for something in my notes real quick, Cogsworth, before I can answer your question.
Also, Grizz,
Yes?
Fumble would like to see, just think really hard, if she can remember anything about any kind of
Evil druid cult?
Yeah, evil druid cult.
She may also make a roll.
Let me just switch that real quick. There you go, dear. Roll history?
Yes.
Oh.
She don't remember shit.
Yeah, that's in keeping with her character, too.
She's dumb.
No, she's not
what are the
dumb.
odds that
She
Fumble
just
would
doesn't
fumble?
remember. Hold on, I'm trying to find the right... I have it in my notes. I actually have a name to give Cogsworth, but right now I can't find it.
Yeah.
Because I was writing up some stuff, or it's sometime earlier, and I thought I put it in with the rest of this information, and now it's disappeared elsewhere, and that means it's gone missing. I hate when that happens. Oh, wait, no, that's right. It's over here. That's where I started writing down the information on this island.
You can do it.
Ah, there we go. Okay. Ah, there we go. Hold on. Gemini. There we go. Whispers. All right. So you start thinking back. Um, and well, you have a lot of memory gaps. A lot of stuff you're forgetting about.
Mm.
But you hear the term, green skull, and you think, and that doesn't make too much sense. But green is another word for jade. And you remember this young druid organization, rather not so friendly druids, more like, let's see what we can use nature for sort of druids, the kind that, is corrupting of nature.
Exploitative.
Yeah. And you remember this term, Order of the Jade Skull. It's like, oh, yeah. Yeah. And there was some kind of green dragon named Laparith that was in charge of it. And you don't know why you know that, where you've heard the name Laparith before. But it's just something familiar about it. Just like maybe you'd met Laparith, or maybe you'd heard the name spoken to you in some context.
Mhm.
But it's like, it just keeps fading away because of your um, memory problems.
Yeah. And just a quick question, since you're in Whispers here,
All right.
and is related to the question that Fumble had.
All right.
These druids don't give me any kind of flash in regards to how Fumble and I met, right?
Right. They're not part of that
No
same
relation.
group. No, they're not part
Okay.
of they're not part of the kingdom that
Whatever
was
they
in
were.
the sea king, the water kingdom that was in the north, just of the north of this island. No, the druids you remember are more off to the east, closer to the which mountains range was that? Hold on. Did I actually
Damn it! I thought we were getting close.
give that mountain range a name? I don't always name my mountain ranges. Sorry. Okay.
Right. And
Yeah.
what island are we on again? The Skull and Crossbones?
No, you're not. It's not marked on the map.
Okay.
The island is marked on the map, but it isn't marked with any symbols.
Okay.
It's nearby.
Oh, is it the one closest to Orin?
Yeah, it's the one closest to Orin. It's called
Hmm.
Ethos Island. You remember there was this mountain range to the that's the traverses the eastern border of what is now Keelland.
Mhm.
You kind of semi remember it as being a more of a wild place, untamed after the fall of the Scarlet Imperium. That there was like a lot of unclaimed land, and that these druids were setting up shop in some rather swampy forest land out there, under the control of a green dragon of at the time was a youngish, maybe adult green dragon named Laparith.
Okay.
Um, Given what you have been told about size and the size of the octopus, and a few things that I'm guess that was that mentioned, the size. All right, no, actually,
That
no. Here's what you know from your history lesson. That if Laparith is still around, Laparith would be quite big and able to influence a lot of nature. More than to the sorry more to sorry, my brain keeps fluxing words.
Good.
More than the extent that you've currently seen on this island. So if there is a green
Okay.
dragon here, it's probably not Laparith, but it might be one of Laparith's children.
Okay.
All right, there you go.
We found the pirates at the Smiley Face Island. You don't know what that is.
Dovin,
Yeah?
you said something about a green skull?
Yeah, they're everywhere on that island. Well, not everywhere on the island, but there's a lot of them.
I recall an ancient order from before I slept. The Order of the Jade Skull.
Bum bum bum.
Thank you, Fumble.
Huh?
It was led by, at the time, a younger green dragon by the name of Laparith. However, I don't believe Labyrinth is here. Because at the age you would have to be today, this island would be much more greatly influenced by him. So if there is a dragon here, it's more likely to be one of his children.
Hmm. Do you remember that? That's from thousands of years ago. Wow,
500.
something like that. 500. Sorry.
I have faith in Dread and in the leadership of Volan, but we should be careful. Last thing we need is to make an enemy out of something we can't fight.
Agreed.
Ooh, where's Topaz?
Point to the shore.
She went alone
Yes.
again.
But this time, at least she didn't take your dinghy. Your dinghy is currently sitting in the water, or sitting ready for it to be lowered into the water with, or sorry, it's sitting in the water with underneath the rope that you guys would take to get down to it.
Why don't we start heading to shore? We can continue talking.
I have a very serious question before we head out. Where's the Goliath?
Currently he is down in the hold. Apparently the picture I was using for him, got scrubbed because this happens sometimes in Roll20. Apparently it got scrubbed from Roll20, and so far, that means I don't currently have a token for him.
Okay. Yeah, just Congress has not seen him in the entire time he's been awake.
You've probably heard him here and there, like down below, like, rallying some of the crew and helping out, but he hasn't participated in any of the discussions.
Okay. You saw that too.
Well, let's go help Topaz.
Have we ever seen him and Fumble at the same time?
Ooh.
Yes.
Who and Bumble?
The Goliath. Dolly a steady hand. He fell like a rock twice.
Oh.
Yeah.
So while we're in the dinghy, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Animal Messenger and send a message to the councilwoman in Saltmarsh.
That's right, you sent one last session as well, didn't you?
Did I send one last session? No, I didn't send it
Oh,
last
sorry, you hadn't done
session
that yet. You were thinking about doing that. All right.
Yeah, because I needed to prepare it.
Okay.
So I have it prepared today. So I send her a message telling her that we're on an island. We're going to fight evil druids. We found the pirates. Wait, no, sorry, we're on Ethos. Trying to get my
Yes.
We're on Ethos. We're looking into some evil druids. We found the pirates. They're west of Ethos.
No, they're on. Oh, that's right, the pirates. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. My bad. Brain.
That's okay. Yeah, so we found the pirates. They're west of Ethos, but there were too many. We had to flee. If you can, and then I probably run out of words. That's it.
Does anyone want that cloak of protection?
I mean, everybody could use it.
We'd appreciate it, but it's not necessary for us.
Speak for yourself. What happens if I die?
Then I die. But it's a good thing they hit me first. Though I personally feel that Volan would be the best to have it ready. She slugs off. She shrugs blows off like they were paper, but she's taken quite a few hits.
She fights good.
You're too kind.
I think Volan.
Did Volan just hide a tear? Please continue, Lobu.
Well, I'd like to throw my hat in the ring, but whoever has it should use it because everything seems bad over there.
Why don't you keep it, Labu? Oh, well, Volan, do you have any out of game? Do you have any magic items other than your axe?
Here, let me check real quick.
Don't want to rob you.
No, it's not robbing. I mean, maybe Lutbu should have it because he's been getting involved in combat more often. I just have my great axe.
Okay. Up to you
So
guys.
we have not experienced a dawn since I last used my wand of lightning bolts, correct?
Correct, because now it's like, night.
I just wanted to make
The
sure.
moons are
We
out.
slept during the day.
Yeah, you slept
Yeah.
during the day after the strenuous job at the. Yeah, so yeah, your wand is not recharged yet. Sorry.
You have a magic scimitar.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yes. And we have a vial of spider antitoxin should we need it.
Very good.
I assume you made it.
Yes.
Uh,
I
so-
forgot to update it the last
So you guys get yourselves ashore. The octopus doesn't threaten you. It's already swum back to its lair after speaking with Lobu. But you do see Topaz walking up and down the beach, apparently scouting. Well, yeah, 'cause some of you have passive perceptions. I would have noticed her. Yeah, she's scouting. I imagine with that survival check, she would have found a spot in the on the shore that looks a bit like this is a place where at some point whoever lived on this island was mooring ships, like not ships, but more like mooring dinghies and whatnot. But the dinghies are currently gone. Possibly they were being used to go to the Emperor of Waves and were subsequently smashed by that octopus, or maybe they were picked up and carried somewhere else.
Is there any paths going inland?
With that survival check, yes, you would see some old walking paths from such a spot into the tree line. And as you look a bit further, you do spot your first green skull embedded into one of the still living trees.
Oh. Well, I will be standing over by that. I'm not going to go past that.
And something I'd like to declare just from time to time as we're walking, I would like to be on the lookout for any interesting plants that I might be able to use.
All right. Roll
But
perception.
is that nature?
Yeah,
okay,
roll
is that
nature.
nature or
Actually, you're right.
survival?
Roll
I was
nature.
hoping for survival because I have +7, but I'll take what I can get.
Well, nature to be able to identify them. Survival to easily gather them is what I think of. So, nature to see if you recognize what you're looking at. All right.
Yep.
And then you have.
At the very
well-
edge of the forest, just as you're going in, you do see a few interesting grasses, and you recognize something that can be used to help out with a healing potion. Roll a survival check to see how much you can harvest.
Aw.
You only managed to get about half as much as you would need to make a survival potion. Unfortunately, to make a healing potion. Unfortunately.
Yeah, just every once in a while, feel free to call it a nature check. He'll be casually looking, but obviously a little more worried about not dying to undead.
All right. So, who would like to take the lead on this expedition?
I'll go first.
All right. And what skill check would you like to use to help find your way?
Well, let's see.
You sure you want to go first? What's your range on your detection?
Detection. You mean the divine sense, or
Is that what you're relying on?
well, somebody who's probably better at scouting should go first, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to, but
Okay, go
I
ahead.
don't want to get in your way if you're looking for evil things.
Will come to us anyway. So I'll follow your lead, Topaz.
But I point out the green skull in the tree.
That reminds me, Topaz. I recall an an order from before I slumbered. The Order of the Jade Skull. They were led by a green dragon. I don't believe
Oh,
he's I don't believe he's here. Because with
Oh,
how old he would be,
sorry.
this
Bum
island.
bum bum.
Thank you, Fubble.
You're welcome.
The island would look very different if he was still here. So if there is another green dragon, it's most likely his child. Be on your guard.
I'm gonna cast whoever's in front. Topaz, I think you said you're in front. I'm gonna cast guidance on you every minute or so. So you have a D4 on any skill.
all right. Oh, shit. Where was this Jade Order? The druids you're talking about?
Yes. They are not like your typical druid. Instead of communing with nature, they seek to exploit it.
So they're humans.
I don't know that. All I know is that from when I knew them, all they cared for was greed and power.
Yeah.
They hungered for
humans.
more.
Okay.
Hey, Chris. During my dream, I saw the drow. Did I notice the races or anything in particular about the other figures?
They look like very pale humans to you.
Okay, I'll say that. There's a good chance they're humans. At least some of them.
Nailed it.
Hmm.
So if Dread, if you would like to make a roll on a skill that you think will help you in this endeavor to find your way to the tower, or if you have another location in mind, let me know.
I'll follow Topaz.
Okay, Topaz then. Topaz has to make the roll.
All right. Well, I guess I'm mainly looking for more green skulls now.
Okay, so we're gonna make that a perception check.
Okay.
If since Dread is assisting you as you two are walking along, you may make this at advantage.
If I may, something I'd like to do before we start moving
Okay,
is cast Aid at 3rd level.
and what will this do?
Here, I'll cast it for you. 3 people of my choice will have their hit point max zones increased by 10 for 8 hours.
That is a very useful skill.
So, Volan, Topaz, and Dread.
Huh, it's not even concentration. That's awesome.
Uh-huh. So if I wanted to, I could do more. But I'm not going to. Because I'd like to keep my spells.
Because screw the rest of you.
No, I want
That's
to
not
I want to
even-
keep my
That's
spells.
real. That's not even temp. That's actual.
Yes.
Wild.
I know, and I have bless for later.
So for the next 8 hours, you guys all have 5 more hit points than normal.
10, because I upcast it.
At 10, you're right. Okay. So, Topaz, you quickly spot the next jade skull as you're walking along. You also find the path in front of you.
Right.
It's like not a paved path or anything of that nature. And after only a few minutes of walking into this forest, it suddenly turns from green and vibrant to the wood starts to look dead and rotten until you get more of this deadish wood, but you're seeing a lot more mushrooms popping up from the ground. Various.
Well, I'm looking for footprints.
Yeah.
And then
And you
also I will frequently look up.
Okay.
Because dragon.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of the height here is very tight and packed together. You see nets of spider webs, but thankfully no spiders at the moment up above. Various mushrooms, and you're definitely seeing footpath here. It's a lot. It's a lot like any a natural path, but definitely footprints of some kind of humanoids that came through here, along with the occasional skull set up into a tree. as either some sort of marker or some sort of talisman. It's kind of hard to tell. Maybe a bit of both. Um,
Were these green painted actual skulls, or were these skulls made out of jade or something?
they were seemed to be painted or dyed somehow green. Maybe some kind of spell was used to color them green. None of them are actually made from jade.
Okay.
All right, with that,
All right. I'm
perception.
sticking to the shadows best as possible.
Roll stealth checks, guys. Then, if you're gonna be stealthy about this and sticking to the shadows, roll your stealth checks.
Do Cogsworth and Fumble both need to roll one?
No, whoever's controlling the legs, and will be assumed to be a
This is with disadvantage because I'm using the heavy
Okay.
core.
This is also the equivalent of this is a group stealth check, so basically it averages together.
Well, I apologize in advance, guys.
Yeah.
I told you.
Not a one.
That was meant to be rolled as Cogsworth, so Cogsworth.
Yeah, it's okay. You can see the Cogsworth symbol right under there. Okay, so.
So I guess I'm a little too distracted looking for potion ingredients and not really. And I'm sorry.
And I'm just
guys.
whispering.
I was thinking more like, is that one good for potions? Is that one good for potions? Is that one good for potions? Just pointing at the different colored mushrooms and flowers.
Too soon on the mushrooms, babe.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. Sorry.
Don't
Give
eat
me
them,
1
my
second.
arms are limbs.
You're fine.
Where are you doing that? I'm just gonna be like, don't make me slap us.
All right. So it's like crunch, crunch, crunch. Well, some of you are very, very stealthy. You know, Cogsworth and Dread are both pretty, and Volin are all like the three of them are basically walking along very loudly. Well, the other three of you, Lobu, Topaz, and Dovin, are pretty much hidden. Just beside the normal path, and so that let's see. Dread would be there. Topaz is probably over here.
All right. So when the saber tooth jumps out, you know who it's
That's
going
right,
at.
Noxie's not
I mean,
here.
Cogsworth will be kind of just zigzagging across the path for his search, but you can place him where you'd like because of said meandering path.
Yeah, that's why I was like putting the sneaky people in one little row there, and you guys not so sneaky people in another.
Yeah.
So as you guys are walking along, Dread, some kind of really weird. Let me get the size on this correct. Hold on 1 second. First, I have to remember where it's actually at. Ah, here it is. I've got to the right page. A small creature steps out from what you thought was just a mushroom on the path. Actually, it didn't exactly step out. It seems to have been made out of that mushroom on the path. Or perhaps it just, disguised itself to look like that. It is quite small, but it is holding a small spear and is staring up at you.
At me.
Yes, because you're the closest one in front that it noticed, and Topaz is sneaky. It's basically a bit reddish brown in color, with a bit of gray along it. It's vaguely humanoid, but it is small.
Well, I'll say in common, hello, little one.
It makes this weird noise up at you. And it doesn't seem to understand you, and it's not speaking a language you've probably ever heard before.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
Might I be able?
Is it speaking Sylvan by any chance?
No, though I imagine that that might be a related language. So use your so roll me an intelligence check.
Since I remembered the Order of the Jade Skull, could I possibly try to recall what it is?
Sure, sure. Roll me a nature check, with advantage because of your previous history check. Dovin, yeah, it sounds a little tiny amount like like Sylvan. Not enough for you to understand. It's more like differences between French and English. So it's like a word here or there that you might understand. Um, but it's like kind of like you kind of think it might be saying something about invaders.
Does it look aggressive?
It's tiny, it's cute, but it looks aggressive. Yes.
Fury of the small.
Yeah. I'm just gonna whisper out from behind to Dread. Be careful. I don't think he likes you.
Well, I'm
Okay.
used to that. I'm used to things like
This is what you're seeing in front of you, by the way.
Oh God! It's so fucking ugly.
When are you making a veggie pygmy playable character?
That'd be
Lobu's
adorable.
all over that.
Captain, permission to touch brains with this creature?
Yeah, go do your thing, Lowu.
Aye, aye. And he'll use Awakened Mind.
I'll be
Hello,
honest,
new friend.
The creature looks very startled, and you hear in your head, like, translated because of the mind-to-mind contact, going, "What? What's that? Oh, what is that? Why is there speaking in my brain?"
It's an ability that I have that is going to allow us to understand each other better. We come in peace, and mostly.
You are an invader. Why are you trying to talk to me?
Oh, well, we don't consider ourselves invaders. I mean, we're here checking some stuff out. We heard some bad rumors, but
You're not like the other big people that wander around here.
I was just about to ask about them. Do you like them? Are you friends?
Why should I tell you?
That's a good point, and I can tell you're very wise. And I would like to, form an alliance with you if you can, but I need to understand this piece of information first.
Roll persuasion.
Boom.
The Veggie Pygmy lowers its spear as you all watch, having no idea what Lobu is saying to it. Everybody roll perception checks.
Fumble and Cogsworth, or just one?
Everyone.
Woo! Let's see if ooh, nice job, Dread.
yeah, one of your rare good rolls.
Oh, I don't see Jack.
Double net ones! Cogsworth, you're blinded to the outside world even as Fumble looks around excitedly.
Yeah, I just have like one eye, and I'm like, okay, all right.
I guess Cogsworth won't be participating for a few minutes. How much for my potions?
Reach over, take the other eye.
As you look around, you notice that there are actually a lot of these little guys everywhere. Some of them are right next to the feet of like Topaz and Dovin, who, they really didn't notice because they were sneaky. Others are off to the other side, and they've been slowly basically surrounding your group. But now that the one in front of Dread has been talking to Lobu, it seems to be letting out an all clear signal, and all of the spears that were aimed at you guys are lowering.
You said we're surrounded by the pygmy things.
Yep, you guys were actually surrounded by a bunch of little veggie pygmies.
So I'm going to squat down and in front, like by one that's in front of one that's by me, and just wave it.
It seems to be confused at first, but then it slowly copies your movement, waving back.
I'm gonna see if I have any snacks to give it.
Fumble, what are you waving at?
Oh, looky there! I have a ration. I'm going to break off a small piece and give it to the me.
Fumble, what are you feeding?
I don't know.
Where'd your ration go? What happened to it?
I gave it to the thing.
What thing?
This thing. You know what?
That
Oh, yeah.
mushroom?
Yes, the mushroom.
Mushrooms eat things? Times have changed.
Basically, the noises that you've been hearing it make, are mostly clicks and hisses. With a little bit of it does again remind Dovin tiny bit of Sylvan, because Sylvan uses a lot of similar noise constraints, noise adaptations because of the way it works. But there's also a lot of like little bits of movement and tapping by these things. But Lobu, you still hear in your head. It's like, all right. Do you have any meat?
Oh yeah, and he pulls out his fish stash, and he hands all 5 of them to the little guys.
There's been
Please don't
less
tell me you handed all to one.
there's been less and less meat over the years here. Most of it's already, well, unusable. The ones that are the bits of meat that are ambulatory. There's very little usable meat around, other than the big people that are walking here and there, and well, I'd rather not have to deal with them. They leave us alone. Some of them seem to like us, but they don't give us meat. And the various little Vega pygmies, gather around Lubu and start collecting the fish that he's offering.
Are they hungry?
Yeah, they seem to want meat in particular.
I point to the one by me. Volwyn, can we keep this one?
We already have one small, possibly haunted thing.
Please?
I am
I'll
not.
clean up his messes,
No, I will not.
and I'll feed him.
No, I will not. Because she's going to make me do it.
No, I won't. I'll take care of him. Please, I promise.
No.
We already
Please,
have a little
Bumble.
friend back at the ship.
But
We already have
They
a little
seem
friend.
very
Even
seem
as
very
even as
intelligent.
Cogsworth is some people are debating this, several more types of these things come up to sniff at the meat, and they look a lot more bestial.
look at that, Volin. Look at this one.
This one is actually medium sized. It comes up and stares up at you with big eyes, and the one of one of the little Vegapygmies just kind of climbs up on its back. Like the Vegapygmies are small. They're like very small, and these other things look more like since they're technically a medium class, that would actually make them about 3-4 feet tall. They're actually much bigger than I would expect, but yeah.
They're a package deal.
They're sentient beings.
So, Lobu, you said that they were
But-
hungry?
Yeah. Do you have anything you'd like me to ask them? Anyone?
Yeah, can I take one of them home?
Dovin had a
Um,
question.
Does one
Yeah,
of them
just-
want to come live with me? Ask him.
I mean,
Ask
alright.
him.
Yeah, okay. And then I ask if any of them want to leave their island and travel with us.
And you hear more clicks and whistles and chirps and tapping, and meanwhile the much bigger thorny creature is sitting down and pawing at the fish and just chomping down on a whole fish.
Okay, I assume we're asking them all this time, where are the bad druids? Where's the green dragon? And are there any ghosts on this island?
Also spiders. I want to know if we need to be looking up.
Is
We'll get there.
Libu going to
We'll get
ask
there.
any of those questions?
We will get there.
He's going to ask all those questions, but he's going to ask ghosts first.
So just you say that, like, they're still debating whether or not they want to leave the island because they hadn't really considered that before. They stop, and the one that you've been talking to kind of looks at you and says, "Do you mean the floating the floating things that get driven away by the totems, and gestures up towards one of those jade skulls that you've seen embedded in trees. The the floaters don't go near those.
Oh,
They
God damn it. Fallen, I've got some bad news. I think, if I'm reading this correctly,
Yeah.
that we're gonna have to befriend ghosts and not fight them.
Why would...
What?
But
Well,
but does one of them want to come live with us?
they're still talking about that. They'll
Ugh.
figure it out. But they're scared. There are some sort of floaters, and they're scared by these green skulls, and it's not looking good, Cap.
Well,
Lobu, that's not correct. You're pulling my leg.
That's what the little guy said.
Well, they don't know what they're talking about, so
Guys don't want to befriend a ghost? That's
what
fine.
would
That's,
we gain?
that's not usually a thing that you do. You don't befriend ghosts. You eliminate them. You put them to rest.
Precisely.
Maybe, and I'm just spitballing here like I normally do, but what if the ghosts are trying to finish their business by dealing with these Jade Skull bastards? Anyway, can I do an Arcana check?
What
on
if
one of
the
those people?
ghosts are the sacrifices?
Sure, and even as you're like pondering all this, you hear in your head from the Vega Pygmy going, "Would off the island be sun free, and would it have meat?"
Well, there'd definitely be meat, but I don't know if we can. And then I just turn to Volan and I start speaking directly into her head. Like, these guys seem like they might actually want to come with us.
Is there
what do you
meat
want me to
and no
do?
sun? And at this point, Volan can hear them in her head too, since Lobu opened up the mind channel.
Lobu, what the fuck?
Sorry, Cap. I was just trying to get your opinion on this one before I started inviting.
You're hearing a chant going, "Meat, meat, meat."
what's the issue?
And you just see Fumble like with a grin, like just looking at him, like they're so cute.
What do they want, Lobu?
The authority comes over and starts nudging at Cogsworth/Fumble. Like, kind of probably around the region if Cogsworth/Fumble had a belly button, it'd be nudging.
I'm going to start petting it.
Lobu, what do they want?
They want to come with, man. They want to come with and eat all our meat.
That's a good thing.
They can have my portion.
That's our portion, and we don't have a portion.
We could start getting one. Look, and I push the little thwarty thing's cheeks together. Look at his face.
Oh, what the fuck?
It's making a weird noise.
Yeah, I'm sure it seems like a fun guy.
And I'm scratching under his chin, and
It's these little things that are probably eyes on it. Like, it has like about 6 of them. Sorry, 4 of them, not 6, 4. Close, and it seems to be content. Its little under chin tendrils kind of vibrating a bit as you pet it.
Captain, just this one. Just this one.
What happened to killing the druids and the
We
dragon?
can do that too, but maybe he can help.
Then for help instead of trying to adopt them.
I want this one though. Please.
This one has.
Let me have one thing in life that I want. Not everything revolves around you, Cogsworth.
I'm aware.
Fumble, if I may, maybe we should save their whole colony before we start adopting them.
But we save the colony and then we take this.
And then we talk about it.
Please,
Volan.
please,
Captain.
please.
Captain, please help.
There's the issue of sunlight.
This thing has chin tendrils.
He could stay
feels-
in my cabin.
It feels weird.
He could stay in the bottom of the ship, please. I'll clean up his messes and take care of him and feed him and love him.
Sorry.
Captain, help.
Please,
I'm dead.
just this one. I won't ask for anything ever again.
Why are my hands sticky?
He's so cute, and I've already named him.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have.
No, you haven't.
Yes,
I
I
can hear your
have.
thoughts.
Yes, I have.
What's his name?
His name is Fred.
His name is not Fred.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
His name is Fred.
Then why do you keep telling me his name is going to be Squish?
Fred Squish.
Well, since we've now alerted everything on the island to our presence, maybe we can keep going before they decide to ambush us.
I'm glad someone finally decided to
I'm gonna pat the
look at the token.
what? I'm going to pat Fred on the head and say, "Okay, come on, Fred, let's go."
You basically watched Conqueror / Fumble just kind of get into a huge argument with itself. Whereas the Vegma Pygmies are also looking a bit confused at all this. Well, then you're hearing, you're continuing to hear inquiries about meat, and another voice that's saying, "Do you say spiders? Yeah, spiders are pretty much the only meat that's left." But they're starting to get scarce because there's not enough for them to eat too.
Oh, if it's meat they want, what if we kill the druids and then they can eat the bodies?
I was going to say teach them to fish. But that works too.
Except you, Fred. You get the finest.
Have they seen the dragon?
Okay, do you guys finally ask them that question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so as you guys are sitting there and standing around, looking this way and that to make sure that nobody else is overhearing you, especially with that weird argument the Warforged had with itself. You finally get to the end of the business. Oops, sorry, Vax. Of asking about the dragon, and it's like they seem to be making more of those chirps at each other, and you hear in your head saying, dragon. Oh, every once in a while, we see a big flying thing. I guess it's the dragon. Yes, you kind of see this mental image of a green dragon. Given the way that it looks next to the trees. With your earlier Arcana, was it? Wait, who had the good Arcana checks? Was it? It was Lobo. You had a good Arcana check, right? That's how you figured out it was a dragon in nature.
Yeah.
Okay, so you look at that and go, huh? Yeah, that's definitely an image of a young dragon they're sharing with me. Not even quite an adult, or at least not in that sense. So it's not as big as you would be worried about. Still, it's a dragon, so that's kind of scary to begin with. But it's not a huge dragon. I believe. Let's see, a young dragon is how big? Sorry, I didn't have the size on the tip of my tongue. But I opened up to the correct page. You believe that they're only like a large classification of a creature, like not even huge. It would be, so just a large.
So 10 by 10?
Yeah. So I mean, compared to that octopus, if that octopus had managed to wrap its tentacles around that young dragon, well, that young dragon wouldn't be here anymore.
That's very reassuring.
Well, you made friends with that octopus. But that's the
So
sort of information you get from the druids, or sorry, from the Vector Pygmies. Oh, and the subject of druids, they do say that that the druids are usually found deeper into the island. Just follow the path of the skulls. Occasionally, they will go up and down the path towards the water to fish and such.
Oh, did I get anything on the skulls with my 15
Ah,
Arcana?
15. Okay, sorry about that. As for the skulls, given what the Veggie Pygmies told you, uh, and the skulls along the path and everything like that, you're pretty sure that the skulls might be somehow treated or enchanted to repel at least certain kinds of undead. The ones referred to as the floaters. Maybe to keep the path safe from ghosts and specters and such.
I'll ask the veggie pygmies before we go because I feel like we're ready to head out here pretty much. I'll be like, all right, well I think we're gonna get going, but are you afraid of the floaters?
They usually don't notice us. We're usually too low to the ground, too much blended in. Although occasionally, if a thorny has wandered away, a floater can inhabit it.
Ugh. All right, that's gross. Well, I think we're gonna head out soon, but um, have you ever seen anyone remove those skulls and carry them around?
Uh, no, but sometimes the big people in the robes do carry skulls of their own on sticks. Sometimes the skulls are adorned with things. There was some not long ago that were headed out towards the beach that had skulls that had spiders on them.
All right. Well, thank you. I feel like I've made some really good friends today, and we'll be back to tell you about all the adventures we have.
Most of the Vegapygmies fade into the underbrush, except for that one Thorny, which is now following Cogsworth.
Now I have two thorns in my side.
Fuck you.
No,
All right.
it left thorns in my side, and I
So,
pulled.
so who would like to take the helm for leading the group and deciphering the path here?
I'll still take the front.
I'll
Alrighty.
give you another guidance cast.
Should we get some of them skulls out of them trees?
Was wondering that. Does it look like something that we could dislodge without breaking the enchantment?
Roll an Arcana check for me.
I'll assist.
I'm just sitting down.
Ooh, Delvin.
I'll make
I got this.
This is just a random map just so that you can have a path to stay on and whatnot. Yeah, as you stare and study it, it's like you could probably dislodge that, cut it out of the tree. I mean, this particular tree you're looking at isn't alive. It's not like it's grown over the this ward or whatever it is. You could probably do that, carry it around like an amulet or on a staff, and maybe it'll afford you the same protection that this path is protected from. Of course, if you do that, you probably won't face any ghosts, like you guys were talking about, as that appears to be the reason for the enchantment.
What do you guys think? Do we want to go ghost hunting or do we
Not
value
all at
sanity?
once. We don't need everything attacking us at the same time.
I agree. Let's
Yeah.
deal with the most active threat first. For all we know, the druids could be conjuring them.
Sounds logical to me.
Makes sense.
So I guess I'll just affix it to my walking stick.
All right. You managed to you take a little time and start nudging it out of the tree and put it on your walking stick. You now have a green skull on your walking stick. Just to keep it in your inventory. From green skull from Ethos Island. All right.
And just one quick question before we get moving.
Okay.
Do I find anything interesting growing on Fred's back?
What appears to be growing on Fred's back is part of Fred. Do you wish to try
Okay.
to harm Fred by trying
Not at all.
Okay.
I was wondering, like, maybe ivy was growing over him, or if it looked
Nah.
all like.
It looks like, because Fred is made out of fungus, like all the growing bits on the back are just part of Fred's anatomy.
We should just change his name to Squish.
So, Topaz, what would you like to use as your shield challenge this time?
Oh, I don't know. What would be useful?
Maybe look for tracks. They said the druids went to and from shore.
Yeah, any druid tracks?
Alright, that would be an investigation as you're actively looking for the tracks on the ground and trying to decipher what you're looking at.
Oh no, that means I'm gonna have to teach Fred common.
Yeah, but you kind of stare at it and just like, this is not making any sense to you.
Just keep following the skulls.
Alright. You're gonna continue to try and stealth?
Yes.
Alright, stealth group check, guys.
Oh, God. Terrible roll.
Your turn, dear.
My turn? Okay.
Yep, let's see if you can get a good roll.
Yeah, there that goes.
Dread's doing pretty well though.
Why is Volan with disadvantage? Armor?
I'm wearing medium armor.
Oh.
Alright.
Doesn't heavy armor restrict barbarian rage?
Yep.
Okay. I
Okay.
haven't read barbarian in a hot minute.
Me neither.
I never played a barbarian.
Exactly.
So, as you guys continue along, up ahead, you see several people waiting for you. You see a half orc, and two humans. Give me a second. Need to find the
Waiting for us.
because you seem to be loud enough that they had time to prepare and see you guys coming. I thought I had that in there. Hold on.
Well, they're not ambushing us at least.
That we can see.
That's a really
Maybe-
good point. We just
Maybe they want to be friends.
So you mean that army hiding behind the trees is not an ambush? Kidding.
Yeah, I don't trust that this is all of them.
Is Fred having any, like... Is he...
Freaking out?
Yeah.
Fred is just sticking with you at the moment. It doesn't appear to be upset about anything.
Damn it,
Right
I got
now.
a stupid one.
Or he just doesn't care about them. Because. Oh, wait, we didn't hear it. Never mind.
Yeah.
Meta.
Honey Badger don't give a shit.
Here we go. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to figure out where one of these tokens went. Oh, there we go. So that for that. And there was the other one. Hold on. There's the
There's
correct
always
one.
Huffle when Fred's around.
Sorry. Sometimes these tokens get a little bit, you end up finding the wrong token. I hate when that happens. There we go.
I'm sure you have quite a few of them.
Yeah. So you got like a half orc in the middle and two humans flanking. Like they're staring at you as you come up. The half orc in the middle is holding a staff, which is kind of like yours right now, Dovin, tipped with a with a green skull. And he yells, "Halt! I do not recognize you. What are you doing here?"
We've been called to cleanse just silent. I'm sorry for what we're about to do, but I don't think my friends are very sorry about it.
No, the undead must be eliminated.
Yell. He kind of taps the top of his staff and yells, "Get them!" And it's in, some typical stupid super villain fashion.
All right. Am I in control first, or are you in control first?
I'll go first.
You'll go first. Okay.
Top of his staff is now glowing, bright green. Hold on, I was trying to get something for somebody. Okay. There you go. You should be able to control Fred now. If you wish to bring Fred into the battle, you may. I know. So, let's see. Top of the order here. Dovin. Wow, Dovin goes first.
You said his staff was glowing.
The druid staff is glowing, yes.
I'm gonna. Does it look like it's a magic? Does it look like a spell on it, or does it just look like it's like a fancy little thing?
Roll Arcana.
All right. So, did you say that Fumble can control Fred?
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have access to the token.
Oh, I thought you did. I'm sorry.
We can see the handout, but not the token.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I was still saying representing representing Thorny. There you go. Now it says representing Fred.
Okay.
There you go.
There you go,
You stare at the staff in nice. In contemplation. The only problem with this customer token is that. Oh, that's a bandana. That's cool. So I thought that was hair. I was like, wait a second, that's a Goliath. Anyway, that is a really cool token. Thank you very much, MB.
Sorry to disrupt.
No worries. I have ADHD. I'm easily distracted. What was I trying to say? From what you can see from the staff, it's not a spell that he's casting. It's some sort of effect he is activating the staff for. Some sort of passive effect, because if it was a spell like normal, like, wand of magic missile or something like that, it would have already launched.
Okay.
You don't have enough information to know exactly what this staff will do, but you imagine that once you see some sort of effect that you're pretty sure the staff has caused, you will know exactly what that glow means in the future.
I am going to try and cast Dispel Magic on it.
Alright.
We finally figured out how to roll Fred's initiative.
Cool.
13. So he's in there somewhere.
Yeah. Make an ability check. When you cast a spell using a spell slot, automatically end the effects first. I forget. Do you roll or do I roll?
I roll to dispel.
Alright. So
the
make a roll.
effect.
Ooh. The staff sputters and the light goes out, and the half-orc looks very confused at this.
Sorry, friend.
It says to confront your companions. Is that your turn? That's your action. Do you have any bonus actions or movement you wish to do?
Uh, that a rock?
Yeah, we'll say it's a rock.
I'm gonna go ahead and duck behind that rock. And that's it.
The druid curses. Well then, we'll do this. We'll do this a different way. Let's see. What can he do that's useful? Trying to remember the thing. Okay, now that's self. Let's see how far away things are. Alright, so no one is close enough for that. So he steps out about here. He doesn't see Devin because Devin is crouched behind the thing, but he does look over at Topaz and throws out some flame at her. Oh god, that did a horrible roll. Dread.
And
Well, I'll move up to him and attack him. Let's see.
Alright, that's a miss. That one isn't. Ugh. Blood drips down as you score a major hit across his chest, opening up some of his rather cloth armor. Well, robes, really.
I'll stand in turn.
Topaz.
Yeah, I have a feeling that guy is going to get swarmed. So, I'm going to aim some attacks at these guys. See the one on the left.
Oh, nice.
And do a second attack on him. He's still
Okay.
up.
Yeah, he's still up. It's like you smack him with the spear. It's like you smash him right in the forehead, and the blood goes everywhere, spraying, and he looks dazed for a moment. And you smack him again in the belly, and it's like ugh. He like moves a hand down just to keep his guts from spilling out everywhere. But he is still standing.
All right, flurry of
Gritting his
blows.
teeth. And yeah, you smack one fist into the wound you already made in his head, and apparently this was enough to, break whatever bone that had already been, touched on, and driving it right into the brain, dropping this guy.
Excellent. Second flurry of blows, of course, goes to the other one and misses completely. That'd be it for me.
And little Fred, if you want him to do anything specific, roll an animal handling check, please, Fumble.
No, I don't think I want him to do anything right now.
Okay.
Anything
He's-
specific. So he's
he-
gonna act on his own.
He's just gonna hide behind you then.
Yeah. Woo.
He's like sniffing the air and smelling the meat, but he's not ready to tangle with these big things. Cogsworth, Fumble, what would you like to do?
I am going to on. Is this the half orc right here?
The guy in front of Dread, yeah.
Okay. On. Oh,
He had the glowy staff that Dovin dispelled.
The fourth one is the ruler. You should be within range of
Yep.
all of them.
all right. So on the half orc, I am going to go ahead and cast Vicious Mockery,
Nice.
which is a
Seeing through.
Yeah.
Suck on this, moldy tits.
Oh, what do you wish to say?
Nice.
What do you wish to say to him?
It's moldy tits.
What?
It's moldy tits.
Okay, I guess Cogsworth had a good one.
Yeah.
You say it, I can't.
Suck on this, moldy tits.
You're like,
What, you couldn't say that one?
He looks very startled. Dread, you just kind of see his eyes pop wide in shock.
Are you moving or staying
No,
here?
that's the end of my turn.
Oh, can I move us then?
Yeah, if you want to move us.
Okay.
Yes, Cogsworth
Just
can
gonna-
control the legs and move you around.
Okay. We're gonna take cover behind the trunk of this tree.
Alright.
If that's a substantial trunk.
Yeah, there'd be a trunk there. There's not much in the way of, like, leaves or anything like that. It's like, the upper branches have more spider webs and it's dense from other things, but
But I mean, like, the tree trunk isn't like 2
Yeah.
inches wide.
oh
It's
no, it's substantial. It's big. A lot of these
Okay.
things are like old and dead, or look like they're
Okay.
dead. Like they've had their vitality stopped from them. Callie, what would Callie like to do?
Callie's gonna go hitch a ride on Lobu.
All
If he
right,
doesn't mind.
Not at all.
Lubu, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna run right up to the half orc. I'm pretty sure I can get around that rock and still have my movement, and then attack him.
Oh,
nice.
that's enough to kill him. The Afork goes down. His now useless staff clatters to the ground.
That's it for Lobu.
Volin.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to measure my distance to do something. Hold on. Okay, so I can get there with 40 feet. I'll pull out the pike that I have,
Oh,
and from there I'll make 2 strikes.
you gonna
Nice.
rage? You gonna rage first, or you going in fight? Just fine. Okay,
No, just regular.
got it.
Did Topaz already kill one of them?
Yeah.
Yes,
Nice.
Topaz is a beast. Alright, so that first one hit, you slammed it right into his shoulder, and his blood goes dripping down. His eyes go wide. He's breathing heavily, and he's like just drops whatever he's holding, which would be, let's see, he's got a dagger. He drops that. He holds his hands up, saying, "Oh, all right, all right. You guys are very powerful." And he slides his eyes a bit to the side, off to the woods, and looks between Topaz and Volin and says, "Please don't kill me."
What were you looking at there just now?
Well, I was seeing if the wraiths were still out there.
They're wraiths.
He nods. Yeah, the Chester there, and he gestures at the half orc. Was gonna let them in and to deal with you, but you have some powerful magic of your own, and you stopped him.
Set about pulling out some silk rope and binding this guy's hands
Yeah, he doesn't resist.
and disarming him.
He already dropped his dagger.
Is that all he had?
I believe so. Yes.
Do you have a belt pouch or anything with valuables in it?
Actually, as you're searching around, you do find one of the skull symbols. It's like more of a flat disc that's like shaped like a skull, but it's definitely some
Talisman?
kind. Yeah, it's definitely some kind of talisman, probably like a focus of some kind.
That as well. How many of you are there?
That depends. The Dark Knights got here a few days ago. I guess they count for some, but they might be gone already if they got that device working.
Okay,
The
you just brought up a lot of interesting questions. Dark Knights and device? Start explaining.
Um,
Let's move you off the trail. How about we go over here by this rock?
it looks at the trail, like with the occasional green skull that's embedded into the trees, and he looks at the rock, which just seems to be outside the line of the trail, and he says, let's not stay here too long. I said there are wraiths about.
Oh, well, then that sucks to be you with your hands tied. There, right there, back against the rock. Thanks.
Um, and um,
So, you know what you are right now? You're bait. And bait only lasts so long on the hook before it gets bitten. So if I were you, I'd start answering the questions real snap, quick.
okay, well,
How many of you are there? Where are you? What are the Dark
I'm
Knights,
not
and
sure
what's this device?
how many are left. I guess Krell's people are all gone, aren't they? I the ship was the ship destroyed? He took a whole bunch. Most of the Loth cultists, or Loth, I can me, I cannot pronounce that goddess's name to save my life. Uh, he took a bunch of those cultists down there, and
Is that the one we sunk? Or
Is that the half orc you're talking about?
yeah, Krell. He's I guess was a half orc. He was devoted to Loth, and he'd converted a group of our order into her worship. The boss didn't mind, not at first, not until the stupid emperor of the waves washed up nearby. Then he became obsessed with it, and decided to make it into an altar. And Skaladin was very upset.
somebody taking notes. I I'm trying to process this. I can't keep up.
But then Vincent Darkelf showed up with some of his minions, and that seemed to make the boss happy.
Oh, you're working with the drow?
Well, he is a drow, but
The boss
well,
is a drow.
sort of. He's well, drow, sort of. He's and the guy gets this really scared look on his face. Roll either
Drow.
intimidation or persuasion on this guy.
Let's see. Drow, sort of.
He's very scary. He's apparently really high up in the Dark Knights. Though I'd heard that that the organization had either broken apart into this other smaller factions, or there was a coup or something. I was hearing rumors about it, but most of them, Dark Knights usually don't operate this far north. It wasn't until Imru Corp, started passing through the Monster Strait that we got more people from Eberus up here. They used to have to go all the way through Rivenwood, and they didn't like going over the Felderbout Mountains that much, so most of their trade was down south.
I'm digging the heels of my hands into my eyes. So much information.
Anyone else wish to attempt to interrogate this guy?
Hey, buddy, what's your name?
My name? I'm Andrew.
Andrew, would you say we've been talking for roughly a minute?
Yeah, maybe a couple of minutes.
Lobu turns into him and starts speaking in his voice. Now, what do you think about
He swallows
us
hard.
infiltrating your little coven?
You can do as you want. I can't stop you clearly.
He's not much of a guard, is he?
Not sure if the boss would be fooled or not. He's usually pretty good at seeing through disguises.
Does he? Would you say he has magical capabilities in this?
Oh, oh yes. He kind of like, it looks, his eyes just kind of turn for a moment. He is quite magical. He can turn into different things. Um, different from what you're doing right now, but he can turn into different things quite easily.
Druid things.
Yes.
Did anybody else figure out what he was babbling about with these Dark Knights? Are they your allies or are they your enemies?
Well, Skeleton views them as our allies, uh, at least for now. They're helping with the project to reconnect and control the old network from that was pretty much lost after the Scarlet Imperium collapsed. He's trying to stay ahead of those who are trying to restore the Imperium. They're, he said
Didn't the
they're
doll bring up teleporters? Do you think the doll would like to talk to this one?
Um,
Let's not bring that into this.
Bolin, can I feed him to Fred?
Wait, so what's this device you're talking about?
it's it's this old network, um, this old network of teleporters. Some kind of magical device. It's a closed teleport network of some kind that you need.
Teleport circles?
Yes and no. Most teleport circles, you just draw your own and draw a special sigil to get to where you want to go. The closed network, from the days of the Scarlet Imperium, from what I understand, what the boss was telling us about, uh, you needed to be in one of the locations, and then you could use a sigil from one of the other locations already hooked in the network to immediately transport yourself there. So it's a closed network. It's
And what
very
were you going to
specialized.
use it for?
Um, to mostly to get around Meeg, and apparently um, there's even one active down in Eberus. That's where the Dark Knights came from.
A very interesting little creature told me recently that there were 3 factions trying to get this teleportation system back up and
Well,
running.
From what I understand, the that would make the other one, of course, the Scarlet Brotherhood, the people that are trying to restore the Imperium.
So we've got
Oh,
the
here
Black
we are
Knights.
back to the Scarlet Brotherhood. I feel like we're jumping all the way back to the festival.
So you could describe the Black Knights or the Dark Knights as black, you as green, your organization is green, and the Scarlets as red, if you were to be
Yes.
a little cryptic about it. All right, mystery solved.
What mystery?
More doll talk. He was telling me about 3 factions fighting for this teleportation ring.
Okay, so apparently we've stumbled onto a giant conspiracy between 3 different evil groups.
Great.
Dark Knights, these druids, whatever they call themselves, and the Scarlet Brotherhood. And this drow you speak of, this was the leader of the Dark Knights?
Oh no, he's just from what I understand, he's just a lieutenant. He has a boss as well. I'm trying to think for a moment. Someone called Reno. Dread, please make a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
All right. So, let's see. I'm trying to figure out what happens here. 1 second. Ow.
As
Sorry
long
about
as
that,
it doesn't
kitty.
involve rocks falling, we're fine.
uh, so Dread, this is something you're seeing out of the corner of your eye, and it's like it's not taking over your entire field of vision. So it's like this guy is rambling on, but as soon as you heard that name, um, I need to whisper it to you anyway, but it's like really quick, not like the if you'd failed that wisdom saving throw. Uh, 1 second. So out of the corner of your eye, you see the manifestation of your companion. Of course, your other friends don't see her, but you've never, because she's like, it's a complete shroud thing. She's in a shroud and all that. You've never seen her angry or upset or anything like that. But you kind of get this feeling that she's radiating it right now, and she's just going, Reno, and Vincent's. I have to hurry before Vincent gets away. And you just hear her whispering this, and then it kind of fades back because you're hearing what else is going on around you. So he's like, yeah, some sort of guy named Reno is apparently somewhere to the south. I think he's in Schalt at the moment. That's what I was hearing. They're trying to let's work on a bridge to there.
And Reno
Yeah.
leads the Dark Knights.
Yes, or he did. I don't know enough about it. I heard something about a coup, but that Vincent was still loyal to him. They talk a lot.
And what's the master plan? What's your goal?
What do you mean?
Well, obviously you have a reason. You're trying to get this teleportation network up and running. You're striking nefarious bargains with other villainous misfits. What's your plan? World domination, power, riches? What are you trying for?
I just pretty much do what I'm told to do. I got into this because I had, well,
because you're an idiot and you had nothing better to do. And you fail the leader of the evil druid test.
Roll roll an intimidation check with advantage.
So you got demoted to flunky.
With loose lips.
Yeah, he's like looking down and looking very ashamed.
Just gets better and better. So we have evil druids. Scarlet Brotherhood's got their fingerprints on this. These Dark Knights, whoever they are, with a lieutenant that's a drow. And a green dragon. Oh, and mushroom people.
The guy kind of looks up at that and says, yeah, that green dragon. Yeah, Scaladin.
That's Scaladin. Green dragon is Scaladin.
Yeah.
What's your relationship with it?
Yeah, like I said, he's the boss. He usually shapes himself into a human.
How long's he been around?
He's the one that brought the expedition to Ethos. It can set up shop here.
How long ago?
I'm guessing it's been a few years now. Well, it's better here in Ethos than trying to get back to Mistvale.
Which way is this? The camp of yours, and is that the same place as the teleportation circle?
Yeah, we set up shop and we're clearing out the tower, fixing it up, making it more habitable.
I give a shrug and look at everybody else. This is sounding more and more like giant master plot that we should probably stop.
I don't know, but Bumble's pet's looking hungry.
What do you say, flunky guy? Have you got any words to try to save your life? Not being fed to mushroom people, want fresh meat.
I've told you a lot of information. He is.
You sure did. I'll give you that.
I assume Fred can growl.
It's more of this like clicking grrr noise.
Okay, well he's doing.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a thorny dragon.
Yeah.
You've given us quite a bit of information, but at the same time, you're part of an evil organization, so. think it balances out.
Evil's
fair.
your word for it. You're the ones that came and invaded our island.
Is it really your island? Because there's 3 groups of you fighting over it, so.
Was that
No,
back talk I
I
heard?
don't think the Scarlet Brotherhood has been here at all. All right, Lebu, searching the body. Roll investigation check, please, Lebu.
We really need to stop letting him wander off on his own.
You find a quarterstaff. You find a pouch of 23 gold. You find, um, there's this has that green skull at the top of that staff. And you find some brownish robes.
And I take it then you fear the wraiths.
The man's eyes just kind of flick back towards the deeper forest. 23 gold, Lobu.
I caught it.
Okay, cool.
But your little skull enchantments keep them at bay.
It keeps the undead that we have a harder time controlling at bay. There are other undead around that we can much more easier control. At least with the mushrooms. And kind of glances at Fred for a moment. Not quite like that. Not like the pygmies.
Wow.
If we let you go, what would you do?
I don't know. I don't even know how to get off the island. There's a giant octopus that lives in the coral nearby. I think it stops ships from getting on and off, and then
Yes, it's a friend of ours.
it kind of looks at Topaz up and down. I was like, of course it is.
I'll be
Well,
honest, Captain.
your choices are broadening. We could feed you that too. So it could be mushroom people or giant octopus.
Or we could cut you in half and do both.
Or leave you here for the wraiths.
It doesn't have to be any of those. I mean, how did you get here? How did you get to this island? You got a ship?
Swam.
Well, maybe you swim, but what about the rest of these? They don't look like they're wet. They don't look like they're covered in water.
We got here on a dinghy.
I mean, do you have a ship nearby? What?
None
I
of your
don't know
business.
if that's
Why would you
exactly.
make
I
it
don't.
know that?
Also, I don't have a ship.
You got a ship? I can work on your ship. I can swab the decks. I can do anything.
We're all crewed out.
I can repair things. I know how to I know how to make wood knit back together even on a ship.
I'm gonna start petting Fred's head and just be like, "But he's hungry."
Fred moves away from you for a moment and goes sniffing at the other human body.
Captain,
Helpful, Fred. Helpful.
if I may, Captain,
Yeah.
I'm honestly conflicted about this one.
Then close your eye.
I have no qualms in clearing out this order, but this one seems too naive to really be of their kind.
I
Whatever
look
we
over
do,
to Dread.
He did
What
he did surrender, which means he did expect mercy from us.
all I ask is that whatever happens, be merciful. I don't trust him to not alert his friend. But I don't want to see him die painfully.
Close your eye.
Dread,
then
can
what
you
do you think?
tell if he's a baddie?
Unless he's some sort of a fiend, no.
Fair enough.
Well, we could give you a warrior's death. And then you can rest assured that your remains will serve to enrich the land, as I'm sure your druid cult would love to do. In the form of fertilizer eaten by mushrooms. But anyway,
You still get eaten either way, but
So the man is trembling in fear, but unfortunately the GM is laughing at all this.
I assume Fred's like over here just like munching on whatever.
Yeah, the Fred has moved off and is now munching on the half orc's body.
So, would you prefer to be fertilizer, um, fresh meat, or sushi?
Or all the above.
Or all the above. I mean, we'd be more than happy to distribute you however you would prefer.
You haven't given him much of a choice. It's either fertilizer, chum, or a Wraith's meat puppet.
Yeah.
I am
Well, I
loving.
didn't confuse.
I am actually loving Bumble right now. Quite a bit. Just how cruel she can be at a sudden's notice, which is great. But as you say the words, race meat puppet, uh, a wraith actually materializes nearby and goes in for the attack. We're keeping the same initiative, guys.
Oh crap!
It helps that we are at the end of the initiative, too.
Yep. So, let me remove you guys, and you're not on the path right. Well, some of you are kind of on the path right now, but you've been hanging out far enough away from the path that the wraith is coming in.
Oh, I thought we were all on that rock.
Well, yeah, but my point is that we can pretend that the rock is right there where you're at right now. I just needed to move the thing over
Okay,
so that I
just
could
for
put
the
the
map.
wraith there. Yeah.
Okay.
I just wanted to use a map that actually looked like a map
Uh-huh.
instead of just a blank screen. That way you could use some things.
They give us the option of cover and whatnot.
Exactly. You get this feel of you're in a forest.
Okay, so as a player, what exactly?
What?
Ooh, spooky go.
Okay.
Well, roll an Arcana check and you can know some more information about wraiths.
Well, what does it look like? Just what is the base appearance? But nothing special before the Arcana check.
It looks like a ring wraith.
A ring. Have you seen Lord of the Rings, dear?
No.
All right, I'm gonna Google ring wraith just so you see what they look
Oh
like.
no! You need to see Lord of the Rings.
Does it appear completely corporeal?
No, it doesn't. It's like
Okay.
It's very dark and kind of see through.
I've been actually playing Middle
the
Shadow of
the
Mordor.
guys on the horses.
Yes.
Oh,
So you've seen
yeah,
enough of the rings.
Yes.
I just got done fighting them today.
Oh, sweet!
It's
Fighting
a cool
what?
game. It's an awesome game. I'm only like a part of the way through, but it gets tough toward the
Yeah.
end there when you're fighting the ring wraiths and everything. It's like, man, unforgiving.
I think I have
Which Lord of the Rings game?
It's called Middle Earth: Shadow of War. I think it's
Oh.
I don't know how new it is, but
I think I
graphics
might have
are
a
great.
copy of that because I've got like the Humble Bundle, which used to be Humble Bundle Monthly, is now Humble Choice.
Mhm.
Because I basically
That's cool.
Yeah, I
I
discovered.
love it. I mean, it's
Yeah.
fun, especially the orcs. There's so many. Like whoever, I don't know how they did it, but like every orc has its own name and its own
That's
fears.
pretty awesome.
They have their weaknesses and fears and their strengths.
And I wouldn't
So
be I wouldn't be surprised if some of that was like Kickstarter sort of thing where
Mm.
if you put this
All-
amount of money in there, you get to name an orc and give it a fear and a backstory.
You know, funny enough, in that game, I believe it's actually procedurally generated.
Oh,
so
no, that's
every
even
playthrough,
better.
I think it is because some of them started after a while. Some of them started being similar to one another, and I'm like, okay, they've got certain archetypes. I think.
Mm,
My name gets to
Mix
be
them
but
up.
also
silent.
they all have connections to each other. So if
They
you
do,
kill
yeah. They have
one,
blood
one
brothers.
general will have an enemy, will be an
Yeah.
enemy of that, and he'll like you more. Whereas one that is a brother to the one you killed will hate you.
Not necessarily. Siblings can hate each other.
No, I'm
Dovin-
saying like
yeah.
it's a connection
Ah,
to where
got
they
it.
will hate you.
Got it. Dovin, you get to go first.
Is it just the one?
Is this the one that you see?
What is everybody else doing? Does everybody look like they're getting ready to attack it, or should we let nature run its course?
I looked like I was going to get out of the way.
Up to you. You can jump back into the path, which is we'll say is the tree on this map at the moment, because of how I had to reorder it. Or you can attack the wraith. It's up to you. What you do next is up to you.
Gonna block
I'm
with
going
Bob
to-
the Cultist.
I'm going to back onto the path and hold a frostbite if the wraith attacks someone that I care about.
That's a very broad description there, David.
It applies specifically not to one person.
Me?
And who's that one person?
Alright. So the life,
What?
the wraith glides
Yes.
forward and it immediately goes in to attack the cult fanatic.
Oh.
Ugh. He takes massive damage, but is still alive. And he yells, "Help!" Dread.
Alright, so I will step up to it. Bonus action casting Searing Smite at 2nd level.
Yeah. Damn, you're getting all paladin-y.
Yep.
It's about time.
So that means we have to fight it.
It's time to smite a bitch.
I was just gonna stand here and watch it eat the guy.
Same.
Oh,
Okay, that's a miss.
again.
That hits. Let's see here. Damage resistances. It is resistant to fire. It is not any extra damage from the things, but since that is a magical weapon, it does take full damage, except on the fire, which it takes half of.
It's alright.
So, let's see, that's 26, 29. It takes 29 damage. Wow. Nice.
End of turn.
Topaz.
I guess we're fighting it. Alright. I look disappointed. I was all ready to see what it would do to this guy. I'm gonna move around and flank it.
Okay.
And magic spear. Oh, advantage, right?
Oh,
I don't know. Does a 14 hit?
Let's see. The 14 does hit. And since that is a silvered weapon and magical to boot, it takes damage.
Right.
woo.
Go for it again.
Alright, that's another 7. Screaming in pain, seeming to realize that it wandered into the wrong group to take an attacks against the druid here.
Flurry of blows. I will knock it prone if it can be knocked prone.
I do not believe it can. Yep, double checked. Cannot be knocked prone.
All right, we'll just rob its reactions then. And the
All right.
second flurry, and my attacks do count as magic for unarmed.
Yes, they do. You are a monk.
That probably
And
misses.
That misses.
That'll be it for me.
Okay, put that up there for lack of reaction. Fred is just munching on a buddy.
Yeah,
He doesn't even notice.
he's just crunching away.
Cogdor / fumble. What would you like to do? There's a wraith in your face.
I will be taking control, and I'll be squeezing past Topaz, ending up here, and I shall lash out with a mighty swing of my warhammer. Wish me luck. 18.
Okay. Wow. What's that second damage again?
No clue. That is that.
Oh, that's right. That's a 2-hit. So so you did 8 damage for that. Okay, yeah. So
Oh, is the second one the roll for 2-hand?
I think so. It just I usually go, why isn't this listed on there? Because I keep getting confused when I see those.
I mean, I just dragged it over, so it must have done that automatically.
Yeah, I know. I wish that they didn't do that from the sheet because it's like annoying to have to fix. You got a second attack on there?
No, because I'm cleric,
Mighty,
and I'm not a fighty cleric. I'm a spelly cleric.
mighty cleric.
Mhm.
What would Callie like to do?
Sorry, push to talk. Callie's still hanging out on Lobu's shoulder.
Okay.
Not gonna do anything.
And what's Livu gonna do?
Lobu is so pumped. He's gonna run just as soon as he could get to it. He's not even gonna be super smart about it and just attack. I'm not sure if that gives me flanking or not.
Yes, it does. Okay. Is Tooth of the Shark, I forget, is that a magical weapon?
+1 dagger.
Okay. So yes, that is. See the dagger just like slice through this thing. Lots of the shadow bits are coming off of this.
That's it.
Alright. Volan.
Similar to Lobu, I'm just gonna run forward 5, 10, and I'm real excited, so I'm gonna make 2 reckless attacks against this thing.
Alright.
Yes.
Yeah, that first reckless attack is enough. Like you just swipe your great axe through it and it dissipates immediately.
You did it.
There's your ghost.
We killed one.
So what do we do about this one?
Kill
They're
him.
so fun-loving and so violent.
No,
Okay.
we gotta feed the.
True.
Look, we saved you.
The man is still shivering and catatonic and he looks very pale. I mean, before he was pale just from lack of sunlight exposure, and now he is super pale.
You know how bad I want to just draw my scimitar, walk by, stab him.
Was that out loud or in our head?
Head.
Head.
Singular head.
Fumble.
What?
Not so violent.
The man is still shivering and is
Do
like
you know
staring
I
at
have
the
principles.
Warforge.
Do you know how
That-
bad I
that-
want to walk by him and caress him with
that
the
thing is
tip of my
scaring
finger?
me.
Well, spears aren't the best for executions. We've got people here with better weapons than that. I'm going to go keep a lookout on
Correct
things. Go back to the road.
Internally with my.
Question for the group: are we done with questions?
I am.
I am.
Do I need to walk away?
Just close your eye.
I'm just gonna throw a punch, and I'm gonna try to knock him out.
Okay. You say you're doing knockout, which is a subdermal damage?
Just
Alright.
non-lethal. Yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
Come on. Bray has a glass jaw.
It would be the equivalent of a strength. Shit, wait. I thought I had it set up.
A strength attack. I believe everyone is proficient in unarmed strikes, but not in improvised.
Okay. Which
Can I hold him?
Oh God.
Which
He
plus
is restrained, which means you actually get advantage.
Oh no.
What?
But strength save.
That's a... Yeah.
Because I am proficient in it, yeah.
Well, save is something different, but either way that would still miss.
Yeah, I'm saying it's the same modifier.
Okay. Yeah, that misses. It's got a 13 AC. It's like you go to attempt to punch him and you just he kind of ducks his head and he's whimpering.
You know, what are we doing?
I'll leave the call to you, but I'm conflicted.
You're conflicted about a lot.
I said we knock him out and we leave him to whatever. If he lives, he lives, and that way we don't have to deal with it.
Can we at least drag him into the circle?
Circle.
Yes.
For what?
So Wraith doesn't drain him of his life.
Olin just said if he lives, he lives. It doesn't matter to us.
It matters to me.
Then close your eye.
Matters to me as well. Can't just leave him defenseless.
I go pick up a stick and put it in it. No longer defenseless.
He has his hands bound. You can't actually hold onto a stick.
Okay, I'm gonna shove it in his mouth then. No longer defenseless.
I
Well-
apologize, but it appears our hands are tied. Non-lethal.
All right. I think she's
Just a
saying,
good old
yeah, that
ramen.
knocks him out.
Just
He's now slumped down unconscious.
Did I just roll the same damage on the one and the two hand?
Yes, indeed, you
Looks
did.
like it.
yes, you did. Yes, you did.
But of all the times to get a crit,
Yeah.
Don't
Can
worry,
I, like,
you
try
didn't
and
you
cover
didn't
him
double crit him while he was at 1 HP, which point even non-lethal damage attempting, that's enough to kill somebody. But yeah, he had enough HP left that he was able to weather enough of that to just go unconscious.
Come on, Fred.
I'm gonna drag the guy next to one of the skulls in the
Yeah.
tree.
I'll assist.
Yay! That's good to know from the paladin and the cleric. That they're not just leaving their captive to die in the woods.
Yeah. Like, as a player, I can be horribly vicious, but at the end of the day, I am a life domain cleric.
Yeah.
I do have to
But
act
I'm
my
not.
alignment. I know what you are, but I have to act my alignment sometimes, okay?
Yeah. And to me, that's very appropriate. So
Yeah.
kudos.
Cogsworth isn't neutral like zirconium.
So I'm giving both Cogsworth and Dread a point of inspiration.
Oh, yay. Did you ever use your inspiration, dude?
Nope, I still have mine. Why?
I was just wondering if you ever used your Sunday inspiration.
No, I still have all four.
But
Yeah,
you don't have multiple uses. It's just one use
I
of
know.
adding a d4.
Yeah, it's a D. Yeah, I know that.
Well, the inspiration I'm referring to is when you can basically re-roll your a die. You can use
Oh.
that. That's temporary inspiration is the ones that are like 1d4, 1d something or another. When a GM gives you the inspiration, it stays there until you decide to use it. It doesn't stack.
I thought they worked the same way.
No. GM inspiration, you can re-roll. You roll in that one. I was like, I would like to use my inspiration. Roll in that 20. There we go.
Okay, so it's almost
That
like
sort
a
of
luck
thing.
point that you get from
yeah,
the DM.
essentially yes. It works the same way as a luck point.
Okay, thank you.
And the GM hands it out because of various reasons.
Because you come up with a wickedly cool name.
Marvelous.
Rock.
Yeah. Is that where you got that inspiration from? And you still haven't used it? She's been holding on to that inspiration since session 1 of Caleb's campaign.
I haven't found a need to use it.
So, the group of you continue on, leaving behind a bound and unconscious man, but not within the circle of, not in a place where he's just going to get, destroyed by undead, though he could very well be eaten by vegapigmies and whatnot. Who knows? But, at least the paladin and the cleric are happy about their deed. And you have at least some idea of what you might be facing once you get to that tower. And Lobu currently still looks like that guy.
Yep.
So what you do with all that information will be for next time. As this is the end of tonight's session.
All
Seems
right.
like a good place to end.
And
Woo, I got a pet!